Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Kongming. It's Tuesday. It's Teehee Tuesday and we're gonna watch more of ya boy Kongming. Last time on ya boy Kongming, we got the OP. What can I say about the OP other than it's an absolute bop with a good visual setup and it's really good. We got a demonstration that the music industry in underground upcoming artist Japan is the perfect battlefield for Kongming himself, with some sneaky plays on both sides and a dastardly villainess who we ended up utilizing to our favor and getting our first victory, number 3 on my list. We got a victory for Eiko and brought in a whole bunch of new followers and fans for her, which should catapult her toward her goals of increased fame and fortune and stardom and stuff. How? I don't know. And that's the question of the next episode. What's next? Suddenly got a bajillion Pinstergerm followers. What now? How do you keep them? Uh-oh. What's next? Your next show is going to be bigger. People are going to be recognizing you. You can't just get away with things the way that you could before, where you could kind of be like, well, we had a flop, it's whatever. Now each flop gets, like, ripple affected out into your whole audience and stuff. Now, you're not a nobody from nowhere. You're primo. And the game changes a little bit. How will it change? How will Kongming adapt? What strategies will he bring to bear? Those are the questions that we've got. And I think we're going to have them answered. What things are definitely not up for grabs as far as questions go in this show? Is the show good? Yes. Yeah, pretty good so far. Am I having fun with it? Yes. Do I like the characters? Yes. Is Kongming cool? Yeah. Yeah. Do I like Eiko? Yes. Do I like the manager? Yes. Do I want them to succeed? Yes. Has the show sold me on its premise? In general, my answer is solidly yes. Do I have any complaints? No. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Bunch of yeses, no complaints. Let's watch more. That's my whole spiel here at the beginning. I thought about doing a bunch more stuff here. Oh, there is one more thing that I have to do here at the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to try to keep it under 5 minutes, but it's not going to happen. Give me a sec. This is important. Okay. 2 comments that I wanted to talk about. The first one comes from Fanzer Lionel and is about the Three Kingdoms stuff, which I've asked for multiple times, so it would be a damn travesty if I didn't actually talk about it. So, hey yo! So glad you're having fun, even as a Three Kingdoms neophyte. I came to the show in the opposite direction as a longtime fan of the Three Kingdoms and Kongming. I've even got his hat, which is pretty cool, and only mildly interested in EDM. By the way, the OP is a blah 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 blah. Just to give a sense of how he is perceived, the beauty of Kongming as a character is that he is thrilling, strategically brilliant, at times triumphant, but ultimately tragic. For the duration of his arc, he is probably the most cunning mind in China, but is also constantly hindered by the common decency of the lord he chooses to follow. He cannot unleash the full might of his tactical excellence because he is determined to serve a truly morally just leader. While Kongming has scruples, his enemies have none, and ultimately they are triumphant. The joy of this series, for me, is seeing Kongming just have fun unleashing his considerable mental faculties for the cute little bean that is Eiko in the arguably less cutthroat world of EDM. Although maybe just as cutthroat, but less literal throats being cut, you know? Stakes are high, but not as stakey. Through the heart-y, you know? Alright. One of the core themes of Kongming's story is extreme apprehension of ambition and suspicion of purported altruism. He is very aware that his mind as a tactician could be used for evil, and is terrified he will somehow bring harm to humanity. We get our first taste of why we should distrust those in power this episode with Mia. She focuses on how to use those around her to bolster her own viewership. Eiko, on the other hand, is just happy to perform for a larger audience so her music can reach more listeners. The true battles of the show will not be waged on the stage, but in the hearts and minds of fans, the media, and the artists themselves. The way forward toward stardom is fraught with danger. Perhaps Mia was once as earnest and pure as our heroine. Will Eiko prevail with her integrity intact? Only time will tell. A lovely piece of commentary, and a lovely insight into Kongming as a leader and a tactician and as a character. Because we must remember, the Three Kingdoms while historically accurate, is also a novelization and also a bit of historical fiction, a little bit. And so it is characters that we have playing against each other. Grand archetypal characters. The types of grand archetypal characters that you might find sitting on my side table, messing with his little hat. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this comment is because it actually leads me to think about a character that I haven't thought about in a little while. And that's this guy. PiP, or really, more accurately, these two boys right here. One of whom I don't know if you can tell that Reinhard has a hole in his head. He tore. These are some of the older paper pals that I have. They are the old paper, and they're definitely falling apart. But these lads are from Ginga Densetsu, Legend of the Galactic Heroes. This is Yang Wenli and Reinhard von Lohengram. Von Musil von Lohengram the fifth, the third. These two boys are great. They are diametrically opposed opposite geniuses, tactical geniuses, on the opposite sides of a dramatic, galaxy-spanning war that's been going on for generations or something. In Ginga Densetsu, one of the greatest space opera, long, epic sort of stories that I've ever seen. Highly recommended. A little bit slow, but don't worry about it. By the time you hit episode 27, 28, you'll find it's the thumbnail where I'm throwing something across the room. That's where the show will get you. It'll get you. You'll be stuck. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is because this guy is particularly similar to what you have described as Kongming. This is Yang Wenli, and Yang Wenli is a soldier and eventually captain of a ship, and eventually commander, to some extent, of who fights for a democracy. He fights for a large federated union of allied planets that are democratic and morally and ethically driven. And he is an upstanding moral and ethical citizen who believes in the democracy wholeheartedly. Reinhard von Lohengram is an emperor. He likes ruling, and he is a pragmatist. And the whole story is a classic battle between the pragmatic, highly efficient, yet deeply destructive and dehumanizing and morally flawed effects of an empire and imperial spread in the face of democracy trying to hold on to its own self. And you get this sort of ethically driven, but also like corrupt and all sorts of problems with it, and as bad as the people that they're up against and all these things, democracy trying to simultaneously wage war and be a democracy, and it's really hard. And so you get this same sort of circumstance where you've got this person who tactically and strategically would be capable of wiping the field, and I really think he would. And you'd have to watch Ginga Densetsu all the way through to see if you think so too, because there are reasons to think that it might not be the case. But he is continuously held back by the circumstances that he's in and by his unwillingness to take a certain kind of power. In the Kongming example, or in the Yang Wenli example, there are multiple opportunities where everybody around him looks at him and says, look, this guy who you're serving sucks and you're really good. Why aren't you the king? Why don't you just rule? It's so simple. We'll help you. We'll even stab the dude in the back for you. It'll be great. And he goes, no, that would be against my morality. I refuse. I Daga Kotowaru, like, no chance. I will not. That's against my ethics. And that has repercussions for the effective nature of the war. Yikes. So anyway, that reminded me of that, and so recommendation for that. If the long, there are Three Kingdoms enjoyers here in the chat. Hi, Three Kingdoms enjoyers in the chat. You like long, epic stories with political intrigue? Here, have a Ginga Densetsu. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, that's number one. Number two. I'm gonna Kongming somebody. Sorry, Sunny Sun. I don't think you'll be mad at me for doing this. Sunny Sun Sins 4920 writes, as a struggling artist with no skills in marketing and shit, Aiko's story hits really close. Everyone wishes they had a personal Kongming to prop us up, but even if those exist, you have to pay for their skills. Oops. Many artists in every type of art struggle to find an audience and fall by the wayside, and it's a shame. And especially it's prevalent in our times with AI stealing jobs on top of oversaturation of the market. You don't just have to be good at art, you also have to learn marketing and business and all the other shit that has no relation to art. And you have to be lucky. Let's be clear, you also have to be lucky. And dedicated. And lucky. And the algorithms have to bless you. all that stuff. I wish it was as easy as just believe in yourself and you can achieve. Well, okay, so it is. That's the thing. Thinking about it as the AI stealing your art is just going to hurt you as you move along. Remember that there are immense AI programs that are entirely built to find your art and deliver it to the people who would most be likely to see it and pay for it. They're just not great yet. But have hope. Have hope, my child. Because the actual art that's being generated by the AIs themselves is kind of garbage. And the ability that they have to deliver your art to other people is way better. But still, let's do a more legitimate thing instead of arguing the principles. Maybe we could find at least one person that is touched by our art, and that would be our break, like it was for Aiko. Maybe not a super tactician, but at least a person who can say, hey, that thing you made, it's cool. I liked it, and I showed it to my friends, and they said it's cool too. That already goes a long way. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Blep. Well, since we can't wait for miracles or a personal Kongming, may I be so bold as to promote my art for a second. I'm making a comic called Proxima Luminous on Tapas and Webtoon. It's a slow burn fantasy drama with very human problems explored by not-so-human characters. Because they're humanoid stars. So. Hey, Sunny Sun, that thing you made? That's pretty cool. I like your art style. It evolves immensely over the course of your webcomic, which is pretty cool too. But I like it. I like it enough that I'm actually going to show it to my friends. So hopefully you don't feel like this is bad. Check it. This is Proxima Luminous by Sunny Sun. The sun. And a check mark. It's got 3,000 views, which is pretty good. And it's rated 9.6 out of 10, which is pretty fucking good. Not a lot of the comics that I've seen look like that. I read Prologue Act 1, and it was pretty cute. I like the art style. I really like these sort of sketchy... They're not like they're obviously digital, right? But I like the sort of sketchy, fuzzy aesthetic that you've got. They're very brushy, and it makes me feel at home. Same with your lighting style. I like it a lot. It feels pretty homey, and as opposed to the sort of sharp-edged characters that I see a lot in webtoons and webcomics, this has a unique aesthetic to it that I actually really approve of. It's pretty. And then I did go ahead and click much later into the story because this intrigued me. And holy shit, look at the evolution of the art style. What the fuck? That's pretty cool. So, look, I'm not Kongming and you're not Aiko. This isn't a music thing, and probably you're not going to get bajillions of followers from this, but, you know, you tried your best at a thing, and then you told somebody about it, and that somebody is going to leverage their audience to try to help you a tiny bit. I don't know if it's going to work, but there you go. Hey, audience members, go check out that webcomic. If there's a way to pay for it, please do. Yeah? Yeah. All right. Maybe you'll get one. Maybe one would be good. Yeah? Yeah. All right. That feels good. Koumei! Koumei-ja! All right, look, he's a good boy from the past, in the present, helping the good girl who's a singer, wants to be successful. That's the whole thing. What's next? It's got to be another event thing, another repeat the cycle, have another strategy sort of thing. What kind of strategy will it be? What kind of enemies will we be up against? What kind of doors will open to Aiko? I don't know. I don't care. I'm down to watch more Kongming. Let's watch more Kongming. I've got Kongming episode 3 up and ready to go. I'm still using the OK subs because they've been okay. And 2 versions of this reaction video, picture-in-picture, in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the freaking Patreon. It costs $1. Go pay for it, please. I'm gonna starve if you don't. Beep beep timer. Okay, so this is another story. Mm-hmm. And then? Yeah, fast forward to the real present. It was a lie. Bam, bam, bam. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. There. My queen. Command. And of course, that's what I drew, because, like, what else? Oh, it's such a cool shot. There we go. 2 seconds. I was like, how long can I hold together before this gets me? Chan-chan, that long. That long. It takes one chan-chan. I need more space. Ah! You know what it reminds me of? It's like Coco Jumbo level, that sort of like Eurodance era of garbage music videos. Everything sparkly, tons of effects, like zooms and stuff. I love it. I love that shit. When I first heard of Coco Jumbo because of JoJo's, I listened to that song on repeat for weeks. I love this shit. I love garbage disco dancing goop. Oh. Ah, Kongming learns the right path to take. Yeah, don't let it get your head, girl. Girl. The people, the people. Oh, he really wants to get in on that. Wait, actually, what is the manager doing here? Oh! Oh, we gotta get in. That'll do it. Oh, there you go. Oh, that guy. He did it for free. Yikes. I don't want to go too fast. Okay. Oh, spooked. Alright, and we got our loop again. It's all set up. It's all set up. We're gonna go do the thing. I don't know if I can do it. Done. That's fun. Yeah, going, I have no idea what they're talking about. Me too, Eiko, me too. As a non 3K nerd, I just Are we gonna dress him up? Whoa, hi, hello. Pay no attention to the woman in the red dress. Are you also transported here from a different land? I just get paid this way. Says the dude in the trench coat. Pay no attention to the woman in the red dress. Jet jacket. True. That was just a minute. Yeah. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Bochi? Bochi, is that you? Bochi? That is you. It begins. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, now she's into it. Nope, those are CG. Those are the worst looking they've ever been, and they're not moving. That's so silly. Ooh. Ah. Alright, so we gotta do another thing. Who we just saw. Bling, 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 and not to you. So what do we do? Lights in the tree. Oh, it will work for our purposes. At least we're hitting when dark is falling. Just do your best, girl. We'll take care of the rest. And again, he's like, it's all about your singing, but he's got his own plans, too. Alright, what's your secret play, Kongming? What a stride. Oh, the trust. Let's go. You just said his name. His name is Koumei. Old? Ah. Oh, that's Jet Jacket. So... Oh! Why does he want to introduce himself? Yeah. A simple token kindness. Doesn't really care, but then... Hola! Ah, fuck. This is the plan. This is the plan. This is the play. We're doing this in front of him. Wait, that's the play. This is the play. What is this? This was the play. What is this? Some weirdo that it'll be fine. Good crowds for us. Good crowds for us. No worries. Oh. Uh-huh. We'll see if that's possible. There they go. Pump, pump. Hmm. Same situation. The habitual crowd followers. Hmm. But they don't have that oomph. They don't have that oomph. It was a feign. And bring it up when it's right? Okay! I wonder if this is another Kongming strategy. Yeah, if they're all in one place, all you gotta do is bring them over here. Nope. I was hoping for that. Oh. Vibes. My homies. Seems pretty clear. Girl singing her lungs out, get her up on the stage. Oh, she's the way. He's beginning to believe. He's beginning to believe. Create something from nothing. Oh, wow. How are you going to create something from nothing? Pretend equipment malfunction? Damn. Not joining in the celebrations, huh? Why? So they've delayed her performance so that it gets further into theirs. Oh, 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 oh. These are so much fun. The little sparkles in the eyes. We're gonna remember this night forever. Easy win. Did he do something to his water? No. Huh? Oh, it's awesome. Hey! Let's go. I'm immediately there. Same thing. Capture their attention. So we don't do that. We don't repeat the animation style for this. Don't need to. But that's a drop. Okay, interesting. Ugh. He can't sing it. Dude. Oh. Hey, let's go there. That thing's kind of cool. It's so shiny and bouncy. Oh, she got a pinsta? No! He can't sing, dude. He keeps touching his throat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And went into the store. Hi, rabbit. Easily gets a sore throat. What? What? So we're just gonna take it chill and easy. Not gonna fight it out. An easy win. Underestimate. More like one day. Boom! Yep. Brilliant. How did the rabbit? Okay, we're just gonna rely on fate. You had another one? Another 36. Margie? I love that every time the man is just like, oh, could it be? Not going and drinking with everybody. Wait, are you the real Koumei? Oh, so many of his soldiers. Lost and never seen again, huh? And he didn't go and have a drink. Yeah. Solely the rabbit. That's a pretty good answer to the contingency argument for God. What a shock. I didn't expect that today. What the fuck? That's a great semantic argument. I mean, it's not a good philosophical argument. Aquinas would have a field day with it, but holy shit. What? I've never heard anything like that. Self-doubt. Yeah. Just as arrogance is too much confidence, she's got too much humility. Always, man. Ah, the lads. Sup? Yeah, you want her to perform for you or something? Hey, hey. What is this? What is it gonna be? Is this a surrender? Or a negotiation? Hey! Meanie! Okay. Get wrecked. You lost, bro. Oh. What do you mean? We've just been trying. What are you talking about? Honey. It's not poison. Oh. An ancient historical beverage. No! Hey, man, listen, we really need you to be able to sing. Oh shit, it's really good. Oh shit, it's really bad. Does his voice come out golden? Hey, hey, hey! This is a good exchange and a good, like, good peace offering. Ah! Shut up, drink the stupid goop. Wow! Free! Aww. Aww, and he's playing a fan. Because he wasn't there for that. He's lying. He's straight lying. Hey! You fucking asshole! Here, you're my favorite fan! God! Damn right! Yeah, sure, man. Whatever. That's great. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. Mm. Damn it, I want to hate him so much! They're gonna be stronger. They're gonna be stronger now. It's not a zero-sum game, folks. It's another one of the stratagems. Gotta scare off the others. How serious was he there? Oh, there he is. Beep, 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 bah. Doodly, 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 doodly. So great. Hey, my performance went great. Yeah, pushed to a side stage and all that. New fans, more fans, more fans, more Echo winning, 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 winning. I love it. Same fucking goal, but bigger. Yeah! Like, hey, I've no problem with this. Just reiterate. Totally happy. Who's this? Ho? Ho. What up? The manager? Was he with Jet Jacket? He was with the girl who was with Jet Jacket. That was fun. That was a fun little splash. So there's still... No, there isn't a teaser thing. I'm still gonna let it play out because I don't know if the OP changes every time, or the ED changes every time. Super simple. Like, this is the same episode, right? Same episode. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Oh my gosh, it's such a good thing. Because all the pieces are different. It's just that the flow's the same. It's really good. Really good. Okay, apparently it does change every time. So I might have misread it when it changed. Sorry. Zoom! Oh. I think I remember them cleaning up, though. Pow! Kongming episode 3 completed. And it's good. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? It's good. I like the reintroduction, the recap. I like the way that it flows. I like the little bibbity wibbity like skibbity skibbity skirp right before the ED hits. That's pretty cool to like remix back through the rest of the episode that we just saw. As well as the way it's the flow of the way that we express the points that are here. That happened in the previous episode. This had happened, and they nail all these emotionally like really powerful beats of it. The sneak and then the help of the revival stone sentinel maze, and they use the right pieces of animation to make it really pop, and boom, we begin to prepare for the next battle, and that brings us into the OP. So I think that we don't talk often about the way we organize recaps or the way we organize the first couple of minutes of an episode. And there are a lot of different ways to do it in different shows. Sometimes there's no recap. Sometimes you get a little stinger where it's like the thing that is going to be happening in the next episode or in the episode that you're watching, and then the OP hits. Sometimes it's straight into the OP and then you go. Usually you get straight into the OP and then you go when something like dramatic happens in the episode, because you want everything to be cohesive. And when everything is like more cut up like this, it's more vignette-y and more chopped. This feels more chopped and more vignette-y, but the way that they chose to do it was they chopped up all the elements from the last episode and did a little lead into the next episode. So it's like touchstone on where you were, heading into where you're going, dance it out during the OP a little bit, and then we're here, and we're ready for what's next. It's just like, oh, you're back in the Kongming vibe, you're recapped on what's going to happen, the vibes are there, and then you get to go. It's really potent. It's really potent. It's the same as every other show, I know, but it's not. And there are real differences in the way that those make you feel, in the way that they make you feel when they're organized in different ways. So, all of this to say that I really like it. And it's like you could see in exact frames how long it takes me to dance it out to this music. It's right there. It's right there. Right there. Then I'm dancing, and I'm dancing. There's no No hope for me. I'm lost. I'm stuck. It's pretty freaking great. It's pretty freaking great. We're not going to recap the OP. We did that nicely last time, I think. And it's fucking great still. It's still goddamn gorgeous, and I cannot complain at all. Character's cute, moments fun, zipping back and forth, fun and enjoyable. I'm not entirely sure when he uses the populist thing, and she says, "What is that?" And then the manager is there and is like he really wants to say something. This feels like it's a Three Kingdoms reference that I'm just not going to get, so if somebody... One of you Shakespeare, you Chinese Shakespeare nerds wants to tell me what's going on, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. What's that? So yeah, don't lose sight of your goals. Onward and a festival. And we get our nerves. And this is a core thing about the episode, and a core thing about last episode, and a core thing about Eiko, and a core thing all the way through. Eiko's got a little bit of self-esteem issue. She's great, and she's not sure of it. We're building it up, and that's good. But she still needs somebody to push her every time, you know? Push, 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 push. And it works. It's really necessary, and really important, and really cool. And I think well pointed out, Kongming's ability to read the people around him, especially Eiko, keeps coming in handy for expressing these things, because we might not be able to really totally vibe off that. Like, we get that Eiko's nervous, but Kongming is able to actually say the things almost like a narrator, with full factuality. Like, I totally believe almost anything that Kongming says. I don't think he's going to be wrong about anything, unless he's intentionally lying, right? He's just going to know. So... he sees through all the other characters, and because of that ends up in this really, really enviable position of being able to control them a little bit, manipulate them a little bit, and talk to each other, talk to other characters about what's going on in their lives. So that's the dynamic that I'm really enjoying between him and the manager. Not the manager, the boss guy, the bar manager guy. Because he can pull the bar manager aside, and the bar manager is emotionally invested in Eiko, but he's not Kongming, so he doesn't see the strategy. So he's like, "What are you doing, Kongming? You're going to cause a harm." And Kongming's like, no, let me explain what's really going on inside Eiko's head, and what's really going on outside, and then I'll show you how it's going to work together. And because we get to do all of that explicitly in dialogue, we don't have to exposit it, we don't need a narrator saying it, and it all happens in a form where it feels correct, because we've got one character with the knowledge, imparting that knowledge to a character that doesn't have the knowledge, as opposed to the classic lunch table discussion in anime where two characters who already know the thing tell each other the thing that they already know. That's like, "Hey, did you hear that we are mecha pilots now? And we are piloting the mechas against the aliens?" The other person's like, "Yes, I heard the aliens are called the Zavdargi, and they are purple with green toenails, and they eat babies. Wow, I had not heard that before, despite having fought them for 3 years. Right, okay. You get where I'm going. We don't have to do any of that, because we have Kongming actually in-world expressing things that aren't obvious. Like the souls of other people, which he can see through and nobody else can. Really great. Editing. It's been like slow slid to us a little bit. It's been slow rolled to us. We've got this nerdy guy who's helping Eiko with the editing, and we see him in the audience later. That's pretty great. It's pretty cool. It's also a bit of a ripple thing, you know? Hey, there's a fan that you didn't know that you had. And because Kongming was able to find and reach out to that fan that you didn't know that you had, suddenly there are edited videos that got you a gig somewhere. It's like, it's not obvious how 100 fans equals new gig. How does that work? Well, what if one of those fans is willing to do something crazy useful for you? Or to talk about your webcomic on their dumb YouTube channel, or whatever, right? Sometimes that's all that it needs to be. Sometimes you don't expect it. And that's why it's not ridiculous to say the line that was in the comment that I read earlier, that was something along the lines of, "It's nice to be able to say, do your best and you'll succeed." I understand that sounds super bullshit, right? Because it's obviously not necessarily true, but it's also not false. It's so weird, but it's also not false. The ripple effects of trying are really unpredictable, really unpredictable. The ripple effects of not trying, very predictable, very straightforward. Nothing happens and everything gets worse. The ripple effects of trying, sometimes they're a 0.01% gain for every 1,000% of effort, right? You draw 1,000 pictures and you get 1 follower. You write 1,000 songs and sing your heart out on 1,000 stages and you get 1 fan. And then sometimes that 1 fan tweets about you to their 2 million followers and suddenly you're famous. It's like the world explodes around you. And it's bullshit because it's luck and it's not exactly your skill. It's all these things, but it could not happen unless you tried. So I don't know. I like this element of this story. When the characters align themselves toward a goal, things keep clicking into place for the goal. And it's easy to say, well, that's just because the genius is Kongming, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that part of the point of the show is to show you that, hey, wait, I could do that. Hey, wait. Maybe he's doing some magic special shit, but actually just booking a gig I could do. Making an Instagram account I could do. You know how many people, so I tell people that I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos. You know people I meet who are like, oh man, I want to do that, but I have never actually gone and done it. I don't know how to set up a channel, right? I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, you probably have a Facebook account, an Instagram account, a Twitter account, or an X account, or whatever. An account for this, an account for that, a Netflix subscription. All those things are as hard to set up as a YouTube channel. Like, literally as hard. Maybe a little bit harder to actually record a video and put it up. But it's about that difficult to actually just get started. The barrier to entry is almost always the person. Almost always the person. And this is not speaking to people like Sunny Sun who've gone and they've posted chapters and chapters of their webcomic already and they're struggling and trying to get it. That's awesome. But they've already started. And they're in the different difficulty realm of like, you've already started, now how do you expand? Way different. But most people never get past the activation threshold of try at all. Try at all. Ever. And that's the sort of thing that you don't need a Kongming for. You really don't. You really don't. Just try at all. God, anything. Jeez. Maybe something will happen. You might be surprised. I do like something about you did this too? And he's like, nah, I hired somebody. There's something funny about that. It's this idea that like, oh, but you're the perfect guy who's the best at everything. And he knows exactly when to delegate because he doesn't want to have to learn video editing. Fuck that shit. Just hire somebody. Easy peasy. Now, I was lucky because got a cheap guy, but still, you know? Music festival. I'm worried. No worries. And they back and forth about stuff. The street looks really cool. This girl stands out so much. I mean, it's because she's wearing a cheap out, whatever it is. She's also bonkers attractive. Super cutie patootie. Very PA Works. It's actually the first PA Works looking PA Worksy character that I've seen in the show. That's a very funny thing to think. Because Eiko doesn't really feel like a PA Works character to me. This girl feels like an exact PA Works character. I like it. I like her. The girl in the red dress, and I really like him going up to being like, my lady, are you also from my time period? Oh, poor Koumei. He's so sincere. I promise he's not suspicious at all, says the suspicious guy. And the research, and the sparkles. I like the way the festival feels. It is not as bombastic as previous episodes, and there is a distinct decrease in number of animated frames in this episode. Just simply that. The show looks great, to be clear. Super watchable, to be clear. Almost no Sakuga. Almost none. Big spinning sequence of Eiko dancing? Doesn't exist. Big pull-out sequence of Eiko singing? Doesn't exist. Doesn't happen. Big sweeping crowd shots? Don't exist. They're not in here. Not even a little bit. And you barely feel that they're gone unless you're looking for it. But you can feel that they're gone. And I definitely feel that they're gone. And it's definitely not something that I love. But everything else is strong enough that I'm not going to complain too much. And I think they'll bring it back as we get more bombast later in the season. Still, there it is. We're going to get lots more people to listen to me sing. And here's our loop, right? I think this is about the point in the episode where I said it before. Eiko's gonna do the thing. Kongming's gonna facilitate and make sure that it happens. The manager is gonna worry, but finally be assuaged. And the enemy will be the enemy. These are the worst looking CG models that we've had in the show so far. And they're not moving. Why they were actually chosen for this scene, not entirely clear. Because they're not moving. Maybe they just didn't have time to draw them. I don't know. I think the scene would be better without them in there. Maybe. I don't know. And the out-of-the-way spot. So, this episode is almost exactly the same, isn't it? One performance, your performance. Your performance sucks. Kongming has to fix it. Bring the people from one performance to the other performance. It really is about the same. It hits a pattern, is what it does. It develops or demonstrates or creates a pattern, which is Kongming is capable of getting people to Eiko's shows. We need to break the pattern next episode. Next episode can't be the same as the loop. It can't be the same. If next episode is, we're going to go to your next gig, Eiko, and then, oh no, there aren't any people watching your performance. What is Kongming going to do? Then I'm out. Like, I don't think I'm out. Like, I'm not going to drop the show immediately, but that's a hard kill on my excitement for the show. If it does it a third time, yikes. That's a yikes to me. If it does something different enough, sufficiently different, then we're in the clear and we're golden. Because this is fun, but we can't do this over and over and over and over again. Like, Eiko is the underdog in an isolated circumstance in a performance. Doesn't work over and over. And I don't think it's gonna worry. I don't think we have to worry about it because we've got introductions to big manager guy now. Record label style thing kind of idea is what I get vibes from. Wealthy sort of style of guy. We'll see. So, all the time slots come together. Check out all our locations, and nervously Eiko runs off to warm up her voice privately. And does so privately, which will be interesting. I thought that this little run cycle from her is really cute. She ends up really lanky with the like, really long, springy legs throughout this cycle. I think it's very cute. I think it works very well. If anyone can do it, it'll be Kongming. How will he do it? Who knows? Setting up lights, so great. Bring the guy over. Hello? Holding at his throat all the way through is pretty great as a little setup. And our interactions with Koumei are so good. He's so perfectly polite that it's almost insulting. It's almost insulting. I really like it. Okay, so no worries, guys. Just an easy thing. And out comes the manager right on cue to say the line. And I have to wonder, what's going on here? Ha, ha, ha. No worries, just some unknown girl. And they're having equipment problems, so no sweat. And then in their own mind, what's going on in there? It's not malice. It's not malice. Mia, in the last episode, was not only self-centered, but malicious. Actively wants to, that stupid Eiko girl, right? Okay. These guys are not malicious. In fact, they understand Eiko's perspective. Yeah, she's an up-and-comer on that same small stage. They know what it feels like to be on that small stage. But they are self-centered and self-focused. I know what it feels like, but finally we're pushing through. Finally we're getting our break. It doesn't matter who's in our way. We have to crush her. Maybe don't want to. See, Mia, I got the vibe where she was like, I love crushing people. Yay! These guys, they seem just like, man, we've been grinding and it's time for us to hit the big time a little bit. Please. Let's not let this Eiko chick get in our way. You know? Which is a bit of a diversity. We used to have it rough. Nobody turned up. But we started using our DAW software. If our solo gig tomorrow is a success, and so they're thinking about tomorrow even more. Yeah, that makes sense. Woo! Time to go! And then we get the background conversation, which is really good. We'll make the feigning. The 36 stratagems are apparently different from the Art of War. Somebody help me with that. I don't know anything about Confucianism. We get this moment as she sings where he reaches out and sees his lord. And that moral character, right? That was brought up in the beginning. And he points toward her. The peace that we sought in life and were unable to achieve, I can find it together through Eiko. And he goes full serious. I really like those moments. I think those moments are really cool. The moments where Kongming gets dark and the manager gets surprised, I think are excellent. I think they're very fun. Yeah. Nani? It's party time. And I'd actually want to hear him say that.
It's party time.
It's party time. Indeed, it is, Koumei. Thank you, Koumei. History and a mistake and a regret that he gets to overcome. I think this is a good story. I think this is a good story, the kind of thing that really sits with you. It's like, you know, people report having a fight with somebody, they're a parent or something, the last time that they see them. Rough. Would you be so kind as to join us for a drink? And with coldness and darkness, he says, no, I'm busy. And he never sees them again, except as corpses. That's compelling to me. That's really compelling. Create something from nothing. And the announcement, and bam, 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 bam! So here we are. I'm just going to skim through it because they're just still frames, right? This is the scene. We do the pull out. We don't use any of the repeat shots, which would probably feel pretty weird if you repeat those in a different circumstance or whatever. But it's pretty obvious Eiko is all in still frames with panning shots all throughout this concert. So we're a little bit simpler. And they can't perform the song. They won't perform the song. Create something from nothing. And he talks it through, and he knows everything about everyone. Why the rabbit comes over, I don't know. That might have a Three Kingdoms reference. I think it's more like the rabbit is being entrapped by him or something like that. But ends up loving the manager as well, so I don't know. Their signature song is Hard on His Throat. The will of heaven favors Eiko. And so I had no need for that other stratagem. The finishing touches. Goodbye! So great. And he gets to relive that drinking thing, and it all fits together thematically and narratively at the same time. It's pretty cool. This, too, is creating something from nothing. Life is but a fleeting moment. Let us enjoy ourselves. Where's the line? Kongming. For all things are born of the tangible, but the tangible arises from nothing. Immediately brings up... Yeah, this is not a line as far as I can tell from the Three Kingdoms or anything like it. It brings up a lot of arguments about God and tangible salvation. For by him all things were created, etc., etc. So, all things are born of the tangible, but the tangible arises from nothing. I think materially true, because all things in balance are intangible. Okay, interesting. I am very intrigued by that. I guess it doesn't really work as... It's not really an argument against the contingency argument. It's a framing. It's a reframing. Like, if you hit the contingency argument for the existence of God, so everything is contingent upon something else, therefore there must be something upon which all things are contingent, that's God. Broadly. I've got plenty of problems with it. But if you hit that with the non-dualist sort of Buddhist perspective of like, well, there was nothing, and something can come from nothing because you just have a collapse of non-dualism into dualism, and that generates something. Then you generate the tangible out of nothing and all things from the tangible, and that seems reasonable. But it is also self-contradictory as a statement. All things are generated from the tangible. The tangible is one of all things. The tangible is generated from nothing. Doesn't work. But I think in strategic terms, he's talking differently. Okay, so it doesn't really work as a philosophical argument against the contingency argument for the existence of God. I was too quick to jump the gun on that, but it is interesting as a reframing. So that's cool. Perfection. Among the rules is humility, yet Eiko has a little bit too much. And so a victory on an unfamiliar ground will prove her worth to herself. And indeed, there they are. The three boys, and we talk it out, which is great. Okay, so they talk it out. He gives them a gift, right? Which is like a consolation prize. But it's actually materially and genuinely helpful for them. Unlike with Mia, who we didn't want to help at all. These guys didn't actively try to harm us exactly. So the manager comes up to Kongming and is like, was that really wise? You really want to help them? Why not? What do you lose? So this is where I say the music industry, and almost any industry, is almost never a zero-sum game. And this is a huge failure about human psychology and economic psychology, I think. We just totally don't see it this way. We don't understand at all how much wealth there is in the world and how much of it you could acquire. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's not a zero-sum game. Only when you're on directly opposite stages from each other, directly competing for the same audience, are these two people, these two groups competing. In truth, one, people can be fans of multiple artists, and they can listen to multiple types of music. Two, most people listen to one genre of music and will be more compelled by one or the other. So they're not direct competitors, right? Even if they were direct competitors, the audience is so large and so willing and so desperate for content that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like if I say, hey, did you know that Psyculturists has also really good videos, probably on your boy Kongming? I don't know if you watch Koumei, but Psyculturist probably has some great videos on Koumei. You could go watch those. Does that take away from me to do that? Am I in competition with Psy? With Ed? No. Am I in competition with Euro Brady? No. Even though we make the same kind of content, right? And even though one might say, well, your video is a substitute for his video. It's not. It's not. In fact, they're additive. They're additive to each other. It's not a zero-sum game. I don't gain when they lose, and they don't gain when I lose. Necessarily. Often, I might gain when they gain. Because when they gain, that indicates that somebody's interested in analytical anime content. And that somebody's probably interested in my content too. We could all gain. How cool would that be? So, for example, like, I've got a method for syncing up my timer at the beginning of all my videos. And it's the best method. It's so good. It's such a good method. Should I avoid sharing that with other anime YouTubers in order to maintain my monopolistic advantage over good tech? No. Why not? Because it's useless. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't gain me anything to have that. What do I get out of giving it to them? Well, I get friends. That's pretty cool. And maybe they'll talk about it, and that's pretty cool. And maybe it ripples out, and that's pretty cool. And maybe they happen to know a manager who maybe wants a new female singer. You know what I mean? Sometimes, if you don't view things as a competition, they actually turn into a collaboration. And I think it's much easier to make things collaborations than it is to make them competitions. Often. So I think this is pretty cool. And it's the right move from Koumei. And I like what he says later, which is like, well, if it hadn't worked, I would have just cut their heads off and arranged them on stage. And it's unclear exactly how true or false he is about this. So we talk it out. I'll continue to put body and soul into supporting you. And she reaffirms her previous statement. I want more people to hear me sing. The same reasons, the same purpose, not corrupted yet. And incoming the wealth. Fancy as schmancy. Pixelated fucking pink trousers tucked into long boot sock things. A hot, super hot assistant. God, I fucking love women in glasses and suits. God. A gold K chain thing, fingerless sparkly gloves, a tie, a blue shirt, and a yellow jacket, and his hair coiffed back. This boy is a record executive. 100%. And so, maybe Eiko's going to get her big breako, thanks to Koumei. And maybe not, I don't know. We'll have to wait until next week to find out. I think this episode was fun. It's a distinct step down in terms of wow factor from the other ones, but a distinct exactly the same in terms of enjoyment factor. I mean, that was good. It was a good, fun, compelling thing that I was intrigued by all the way through and loved to see happen. I liked it. I want more. Who's this record executive guy? We'll find out next week. Thanks so much for joining me for Paripi Koumei episode 3. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you had a great time with it. And I hope to catch you next week for more. You can get the next week's episode a little bit early on the Patreon, link down there. And I'll see you later. Go dedicate yourself to something. Go check out the webcomic that I talked about. It's pretty cool. Go make a thing. Go do a thing. Go put yourself out there a little bit. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Peace.